The champ is here.
We will definitely not shut up and dribble.
The champ is here. I must be the greatest. The champ is here.
I'm going to continue to stand with the people.
The champ is here.
I will not lose.
I'm a bad man. I shook up the world.
Yes, welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here with we. My name is EJ, and I got my man.
Yeah, mate.
He is the DB of the show. We are Black in Sports, giving a voice to the culture that won't shut up and dribble. Here interviewing the best professionals in the game and in the boardroom, covering it all, laughing at it all, while providing a platform to be heard. Today's show is sponsored by Windermere agent Stacy Connor. Whatever your real estate needs, Stacy will help you reach those goals with confidence. Top luxury agent and director of the Sports and Entertainment Division. You can reach her at 702-741-5944 or at stacyconnor@windermere.com. So we got to jump right into it, man. We got a guest today, and I want to welcome our guest, Callie Bourne, all right? Alabama alum, 8-year NFL vet, radio personality, Camp 29 director and owner, Mighty Mouse himself, here to save the day. Mark McMillian, let's clap it up, man.
Where's that guy at?
Hey, Mark, man, thank you for coming on, man. So we jump right into it, and how we like to start the show is we start the show with a shoot your shot moment, all right? So this is where you kind of give us a brief story, win or lose, but you bet on yourself. It could have been an outcome where you win. It could have been an outcome where you lost. Or it could have been something where you just called your name on that DB blitz that you wasn't supposed to do.
Hey,
But just give us a shoot your shot moment.
Oh, man, shoot my shot moment. I got a lot of shoot my shot moments.
Well, give us a good one. Give us an exclusive.
Exclusive?
Yeah.
It's locker room talk, so I really can't tell you everything that went down in the locker room.
Well, I mean, this is Black in Sports, so
I understand that, but, some of my boys ain't even here right now, so I can't speak.
You can't
for
speak
my guy.
on them?
I can't speak on them,
Right,
but
well, give us something then for the listeners.
I would say being drafted.
Okay.
Coming from Alabama, 10th round, people's like, they drafted a punter in front of me. The guy's name was Pumpy Tutors. I always tell this story. I would never forget this guy's name. Pumpy Tutors was the punter's name. And I'm thinking like, hold up, bro. I started 2 years at Alabama, all SEC. I'm feeling myself. And they dropped a damn punter before me?
Wow.
Pumpy Tutors.
Pumpy Tutors.
And I remember getting all my stuff, bringing all my luggage from Alabama. I walk in the locker room, and I see Reggie White.
Uh-huh.
And the first thing he says, like, whose little kid is this in the locker room? And
Mad disrespect.
Yeah.
Right off the cuff.
But I shot my shot. And I said some things to a preacher that I shouldn't have said.
He prayed for preacher, you. Man. Absolutely.
I can't say what I said to we call him Big Doggy. I can't say what I said to him, but he got the message. Like, bro, I'm from LA. Like, I'm trying to eat.
Absolutely. That's a shoot your shot for real.
So where did the start for sports and the love for sports start? Where did that start at?
Just growing up in the street, man, in LA. Just running amok with the boys, playing at the park, playing at the elementary school, just hoping to get on the basketball court with my brothers because we were on the little court and the older guys were on the older court. I was like, man, one day I want to be over there
on the big court.
Yeah, like
can I get to the big court?
They like, dude, you're too small. I'm like, I can shoot, but it's like, no, you can't. But just growing up, man, we had a lot of athletes in my neighborhood. That was way better than me. So for me to have that opportunity, man, and there's a lot of guys that I can thank that paved the way for me. We grew up in it was Crips and Bloods. For I usually either wore blue or you even wore red.
You got red on the day, boy.
I know. So all my boys back on the West Coast, they probably like, come on, dog. Come on, man. You can't get a better shirt than that.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, man, just growing up and, just watching TV and like, man, I want to be a professional football player.
Oh, that was a dream. So seeing it and
my brother was like, and my brother tell you to this day, he's like, man, I remember that day we were outside playing tackle football in the front yard. He said, man, I remember you said you were gonna make it to the NFL. And he started telling people, and they're like, hey, your little brother ain't making it to the league. I'm walking around with a Jerry curl with some corduroy pants on. Y'all know about the corduroy pants with the patch in the knee.
And you had your chucks on with your
So it just kept evolving, man. And I didn't grow, but the sport kept evolving. I stayed small,
right?
But I just stayed passionate, man. And like I said, my grandparents raised me. My mom was there as well.
Awesome.
Did a great job, steering me on the right path. I lost 3 of my boys to gang violence.
Jeez.
Yeah, in our neighborhood. And, I was away.
So what was your neighborhood?
I grew up in South Central, like
so
probably
you-
5 minutes down the street from the Coliseum.
Okay.
So,
In the heart of it.
yeah. Yeah. I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
We were close enough, if it's a game like USC sellout, USC, UCLA, we used to park cars in our driveway.
There you go.
And we used to get that money.
There you go.
And of course, the Caucasian people are like, wait a minute.
Hold on. Like,
Yeah.
We're like, no, y'all good. We're going to wash your car now.
right?
I'll be out here all
Paying it
day.
all day. I'll be here when you get back.
I'll be out here all day.
So, man, just growing up in LA, man, it just brings so many good memories back. Having this opportunity to have this platform. First of all, I want to thank you guys for allowing me this opportunity to be on the show. To see two solid brothers doing what they do behind the mic. We don't see that.
That's why we do this.
You don't see that. So, man, big props to you guys, man. And anything I can do to help you guys out, just
Blessings, man. Appreciate
Right
that.
on.
my number is here. Anything I can do, because this is rare. I like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's an energy too, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's a film.
I like that, and you guys are my people. So it's not like
Family.
I'm not hearing from Todd and Billy, and what I'm saying. It's like my brothers. They feel me. My man over there behind the mic. He's like,
Yeah.
man, that's my hood.
Right.
You know
As soon as you said it, he was like, yo, he's having flashbacks too, right? So, all right. So you went to JFK, man, high school.
Yeah.
So a lot of baseball players came out of your high school, but you had a notable. I watched Red Tails today, so shout out to Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
who's also a alum from the high
Yep,
school,
yep.
right? So tell me what it was, man. Coming up, what's he
did
laughing?
your
Cuba
homework.
Gooding, man.
Come on, man. Cooper was my guy.
I'm laughing at Trey. I'm not laughing at
Trey.
Cuba.
You laughing at the South Central
I'm
part,
laughing,
not
I'm
at the
laughing
World
at
War
Trey.
II vet.
Yeah, I'm laughing at Trey.
Hey, when he was air punching.
Yeah. That's what I was laughing.
But yeah, talk to us about the high school, man. Definitely prominent high school, man.
It was, I rode the yellow bus.
There it is,
because my
to
high
get out
school
there,
was
right?
either, Jefferson High School or Manual Arts. And,
Okay.
Mom's was like, you can't go to school over there because you ain't going to make it. So you're going to be getting in fights, stuff going to happen. So, all through junior high school and through high school.
Right.
Man, I was on that bus at like 5:45 in the morning.
Oh, what was the commute?
Man, on that 405.
Ooh.
So it's about like an hour and 45 minutes
Yeah.
each way going to
Ooh.
school. And, I didn't start playing football to my senior year of high school.
Saw that.
That was
yeah.
another.
So-
that question was coming up.
So,
That's
and
wild.
like I say, at Kennedy High School, we had some really good football players there. Really good basketball players. Darren Day went there. Stuart Gray went there. Baseball was really good. Garrett Anderson, won the
Wow.
World Series with the
Yeah.
with the Angels.
Y'all just keep dropping them. like-
My man, Mike Pringle, who's got a statue in Canada. He played in the league and went on to Canada. But on our defense, my senior year, we had 5 guys get drafted into the National Football League.
Wow.
Yeah, we were loaded in our secondary.
On defense. In the secondary.
Yeah, me, Deion Lambert, and Tony Brown.
Oh, wow.
Like that was our secondary. We,
What?
each one of us got drafted into the National Football League.
okay.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it was crazy.
So why did
crazy.
why did you wait until your senior year? Like, how did that happen, or what was the like? You said you wanted to be a player in the NFL, and that was like the dream. Why did you wait till your senior year? What was the? Give us a background on that.
I was too small, man. In my mind, I was like, man, I
Okay.
know I'm fast enough. I know I can play with these dudes. When I went out there to practice, I was like, these some big dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't scared. I can run from some bullets, but
I can run from some bullets.
these dudes are some big dudes.
Right.
And, my mom's is like, you always talking about how good you are and all
Okay.
this. Like, we ain't got money to go to college. So if you
If you
good,
wanna go,
going out there and play.
play.
I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm gonna go out my senior year. Went out there, rode the bench. Guy that was in front of me name was Kenny Furness, who probably would have got drafted into the league as well. He was like really good, lights
Okay.
out.
Okay.
And he ended up getting hurt, like I think like the 6th or 7th game of the
Into
season.
Mhm.
And shoot, lo and behold, I was up next. I was like, man. And it was cold. It was Halloween. And I'm thinking like,
Love
okay,
that.
I'm the fresh guy off the block.
Let's go.
They coming at me. But, I obviously, I did a good job earning those guys respect. And,
Wow.
we finished off the season really good. I finished up like second team all city because back then it was city. So we were
Yeah.
playing against Banning, Carson, Dorsey.
Mm.
And, we ended up beating Dorsey. A lot of guys I played with, Charles Mincy actually went to junior high school with Chuck. And he ended up playing in the league as well. And he was, he went to Dorsey, played against him in JUCO. And, those guys from L.A., they came to the Valley. They thinking like, man, we about to wax these white dudes up.
Right.
Like, bro, we got off the yellow bus from L.A. Like, Chuck, we play together in the park, bro. Don't get it twisted. But, that was just a mystique, man. And San Fernando Valley, Pacoima area where it's grimy over
rough,
there.
Yeah.
And so, dudes was like, oh, man, we got to play against these dudes from Fernando. Like, yeah. Like, we bring it. We had a couple of white dudes on our squad that was really good, but they had that dog in them.
Yeah.
But they were rounded, right?
Well-rounded.
Well-rounded.
So how did you settle on the cornerback position? How did that happen? Was that always the love, or is that where the coach put you at?
I was always in love with the corner. I grew up a Lester Hayes fan.
Ooh, okay.
Lester Hayes, Hanford Dixon, Frank Minifield from the Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
And that's why I kind of got the 29. Obviously, my birthday is 29, so that kind of mixed in. I was like, man, Minifield and Dixon, those were smaller guys back then. I was like, man, them dudes is getting it in the dog pound. So I was like, man.
But Lester Hayes, he had a different style to him.
But I grew up in L.A. The Raiders was there.
Yeah,
so I was like,
makes sense.
I was like, man, I get to see Lester.
Yeah.
Like just. They call him the molester on the field, not on the field. Don't get it twisted.
Don't mix those up.
Yeah. On the field, he was a bad dude, man.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I just want to play cornerback. I'm not going to be a linebacker. I'm not going to be a safety. I don't like getting hit, so I ain't playing running back or wide receiver. Like, I ain't doing that. Like, I'd rather hit somebody than somebody hit me.
Dope. So, you obviously sparked it up. Didn't have enough, I guess, from your senior year, but you went the JUCO route. So tell me about, going to Glendale. And do you watch Last Chance U at all?
Yeah, I watched Last Chance U.
Do you have any flashbacks or memories or anything that relates when you watch that and your time at Glendale?
I do. I can relate to those kids. Like I said, my senior year, I ran track. Ended up running track as well.
Yep. I did see that.
And won the city. I ran Bs. I only ran like 4 meets. So I'm thinking like, man, I can't run varsity. I'm not ready. Because the guys that were running was Brian Bridgewater. He ended up getting a scholarship. And Quincy Watts. He was at Taft High School. And shoot, he won an Olympic gold medal. So, when I went out and won the city and the Bs and I put up a 10.5 and he was looking at me, he's like, is that it? Because he was running like 10.2s, 10.1s back in high school.
Man,
what was y'all?
A 10.5 is a 10.5.
Yes.
But, to Quincy Watts, he was like, is that it? And I'm thinking like, man, I just ran the fastest of my life. And he's like, oh yeah, the big boys got next.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, well, I had to run Bs and actually the track coach from Glendale was the people that was at the track meet.
Okay.
That came and said, hey, you want to come? It was nothing about football. It was for I went to Glendale to run track.
Are you serious? Okay.
And I went into the office. They was like, hey, you ever play football? I said, yeah, I played a couple of games. I said, well, go talk to Coach Sakudo and, maybe try out for the team. And I was like, well,
I'm here.
I'm here.
Might as well.
I'm here. I got that financial aid. So
everything's checking out.
Everything's checking out. And, things kind of worked out, man, from there. Just went out for the team. And my freshman year, I got to shoot your shot moment, man. I was thinking like, okay, I'm getting better.
Okay.
I'm learning the game. My technique is getting better. I know I'm faster than everybody, but I didn't really know how to play the game, especially at the cornerback position.
Well, and you didn't have reps, right? It's not like you've become a technician.
Yeah.
You just come in the game.
And my coach, every week, he was like, hey, you're almost there. We're going to put you in the game. And I'm thinking, like, my mom is driving to El Camino. She's going to Bakersfield. And she's sitting in the stands. And I'm sitting there like, man, I can't even get on special teams. and I told the coach we were going to play Cal State Fullerton. And the coach like, this week, we're gonna get you some time. And I'm thinking like, okay,
I got in there.
I'm practicing every week.
Yeah.
No time. So the next day we go out on practice on that Monday. I'm like, they put another dude in front of me. It's like, we're trying to give this guy an opportunity to get a scholarship because he's a sophomore.
Yep.
Oh,
coach, I ain't trying to hear that.
Right.
Yeah.
You have time. Like, you have time. We got to get this guy.
No. I've been in practice enough to be like, okay, I can play with these dudes.
Right.
So I took my pass off saying, man, I'm done with this. So Coach Sakudo, man, and I always tell this story, man, because I grew up without a father. He probably, if you're listening to the show, homeboy, what up? He might be out there. He might not be out there. I made it, homie. But
Wow, I love that.
He said a lot of stuff in my ear that I really can't say on the air, but it resonated to me. I was like, man, no grown man has ever talked to me like that.
Oh, wow.
But cared.
Okay.
Like he didn't just say it just to be a jerk about it. He was like, he was serious. And
Which makes a difference.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And I was like, so there's some coaches out there that I played for. I was like, man,
get them on.
come on, bro.
Right.
All right.
But him, it was like, man, he was that father figure. And still to this day, he's like that father figure to me.
That's dope.
And, he said, we're going to get you an opportunity. So the next game against Cal State Fullerton, I did get some time in because the guy was messing up. And then from then on, man, it was
Didn't get his spot back.
no. I was like, no, this is fun. I didn't know what I was doing, but I still was like, man, this is fun. Like, man, I get to play football with my guys.
That's awesome.
Obviously, it just kind of clicked. I was like, man, I can actually be pretty good at this. But I was never cocky. Always about team. If anybody ever tells you, any otherwise, they was just mad because I probably
took their spot.
Yeah. Said that. But it worked out good for me, man. And coming into my sophomore year, I was a preseason All-American after 6 games. So in those 6 games, I was like,
yeah, you was
I was
shutting
getting
stuff down.
yeah, I was playing punt return, kickoff return. So I was just trying to do everything to,
Get that
because
tape.
I was fast. I was
Yeah.
like, man, shoot, I ain't getting hit. If the wall breaks down, I'm going out of bounds quickly. So, ain't nobody going to get me on their highlight.
Educated decisions right there, boy. Like, you ain't taking no shots.
Yeah. So it
Fair
just
catch.
it just evolved from that, man. And then my sophomore year came around and, did really good. And, I think we were playing against Ventura or something. And I got hurt real bad. I had like 3 interceptions in that game, and I got hurt real bad. And it was to the point that the next morning I woke up, I couldn't even move.
Oh.
Wow.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the hell's going on? And my mom comes in, she's like, Saturday, Sunday morning, like NFL's on. I was like, Mom, I can't get up.
Wow.
So we had to go to the doctor, man. I had strained ligaments in my spine, and the doctor said you would never play again.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, like, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Yeah, like I got scholarship offers right now.
And things are starting to click.
They started
Like,
coming
through. Yeah.
And I had to miss like the last 4 games, and I signed with the University of Pitt. So I was already like, okay, I'm good. End up being first team All-American along with Dale Carter.
Ooh.
Yeah. So when I
Kansas
look
City Chiefs.
Yeah. So just looking at that paper, I'm thinking, and we ended up playing with each other in Kansas City. I was like,
City,
dude,
yeah.
at one point we were like 2 of the best dudes in America in the JUCO. He's like, I know, huh? That's kind of crazy.
That's wild. I did not
That's
know that. That's
amazing.
a hell of a
Yeah.
fact.
That's
So
good stuff.
it obviously it didn't work out at the University of Pittsburgh. I messed up in school.
Oh, so you went there.
I went on the trip and everything.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get in. I wanted to get in, but they were like, "No, them grades ain't happening, bro." So I messed up in a math class, and all I needed was a C.
Okay.
So I was, kind of be debonair. I had the Jerry curl back in the day. I was feeling myself.
In the corduroys.
And the corridors. And I'm thinking I bought flowers and candy to the teacher for the finals. And I'm thinking like, oh, I'm about to butter her up. I'm at least get a C and I'm going to get my AA and I'm out.
I'm good.
Man, she came back after the test.
Oh.
And I'm sitting there with my coach. I was like, man, coach, we did the barbecue, everything. Bags is packed. It's Friday. I leave Saturday the next day to go to the University of Pitt.
Yes.
She said, the best thing I can do is give you a D.
Bruh.
She said it probably just like that.
Just like
too.
that.
Yeah.
That's like the end of the last
chance. I know she said it just like that.
Hey, you got to get them kids out of here. Hey, you got to. I mean, this is all I could do for you.
Man, that was something hard for me to go back and tell my mom.
Oh.
And she's like, man, one of my babies finally made it. I don't have to pay for college, and I'm feeling myself like, man, I'm out. And going through that door, man, and tell my mom like, hey, I didn't pass a class.
People don't know that's the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah. And see my mom break down, man. That was,
Damn.
I always tell people, dads were kind of macho because I have a son, but to see your mom cry, that's like, whoa.
Yeah.
And it's your fault. Like you made her cry. You be
yeah.
like, God, man.
Like, man, I really screwed up, man.
Right.
And I was like, man, the next time I see my mom cry, it's going to be tears of joy.
I love it.
And, end up going back for a whole nother semester. So I'm seeing all my dudes and everybody's like, damn, dog, you flunked out?
You supposed
Yeah, what you doing here?
You still here?
Yeah, what are you doing here? And I'm thinking like, I felt bad, dude. It sucked. Because I was like, I had to go back to school for one class that I didn't take serious. And it was just my fault. But then Alabama came along.
Yeah, That's crazy.
Right. Like you had Pitt and like then Alabama came along. Like,
that's
come
wild.
on. And I mean, y'all were record shop at Alabama.
And then you had a whole nother the coach that recruited you, he got fired, right? As soon as you got there.
That's a whole crazy story. And
That's
I'm thinking like, okay, because I wanted to go to USC. Because I grew
Okay,
up right down.
yeah.
I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
man, USC, UCLA was different for us. You know, growing up in LA, South Central, you was USC. You wasn't
Right,
UCLA.
all day.
Right.
And, you know, took my trip to Alabama, had a really good trip. And, you know, I was like, man, I'm coming here. Because it was like 5 other guys from LA that took the trip.
That's
Oh,
wild,
okay.
too.
And, you know, Coach Bill Curry was the coach at Alabama at the time.
Okay.
And
He's from because he stays around in that Georgia area too.
yeah,
and
he's
stuff.
a Southern dude. He's a Southern guy, great guy.
Mhm.
And you know, if you on social media or Twitter, man, follow him. He's like he be dropping knowledge,
He does.
like real
Yep.
real talk. I was like, man, I'm gonna play for this guy.
Yeah.
And shoot, man, went back home, told my mom, I said I'm going to Alabama. She said I already knew. I said then USC. First they said, oh, we're not gonna recruit another small cornerback, so we're gonna go a different direction. Then I get back from Alabama. All of a sudden, they're like,
They're like,
hey,
yeah.
you want to come take a visit? I've been on a USC campus, like, stealing bikes a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, a long time. Like, it ain't nothing new for me to walk the Coliseum or anything like that. So, went to Alabama, man. And by the time I got from LAX to Tuscaloosa, I'm in the dorm. And guys are like, I'm like, oh, man, I'm here. Let's get it.
Let's
And
go.
guys are crying. I'm like, what y'all crying about?
Yeah.
You know, they just lost the Sugar Bowl. They were 10-1, the national title. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're sad about that. It was like, you didn't hear? I was like, bro, I've been on the plane. It's like, coach got fired.
Oh.
I was like, wait a minute. The same guy that offered me a scholarship, he ain't here no more?
Right.
So I was like, man, I started crying.
Uh-huh.
I went into my dorm. I was like,
Yeah, I'm in Alabama.
yeah, I'm 20 years old. I'm like,
Tuscaloosa,
a long way from
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not Alabama, Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa's
I know,
different.
yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I said, I'm ready to come home. She's like, you better tough it out.
Better make it enough.
Yeah. Like, you can't come back here, baby. You just got to stick that thing out. And, man, it was tough, man. And then, you know, obviously we hired Gene Stallings.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Legendary.
through that whole, he was one of the Junction boys, you know, one of the Barry Bryant guys.
Oh, that's all right.
But I wasn't his guy. And, you know, when
the whole walk-on thing?
bruh.
That's crazy.
Man, it's I was over there with the walk-ons with the
Yeah.
different color pants
And helmets.
the helmet, and me, Dabo Sweeney, and it was somebody else. We shared a locker. It was 3 guys in one locker.
Wow.
Crazy.
And I'm thinking like the other locker room is all nice guys over there, got their own space, and I'm thinking like, man, this ain't what I did on the recruiting trip. This ain't what I signed up for. And you know, and I was like, man, coach, I said, this is not right.
Mhm.
He's like, well, who are you?
Oh.
I'm saying, I'm Mark McMillian. I'm on scholarship. And he said, I didn't recruit you.
Wow.
I was like, I'm on scholarship. He was like, okay, well, come to my office after practice and we can go. So he went through the paperwork and he found my scholarship in there. He's like, okay, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to come over there and with the team.
With the team. Where I'm supposed to be.
Right. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to come over here with the team. And I'm thinking like, okay, and I'm saying to myself, oh no, you got one shot, dog. Because this man ain't recruit you. He recruited, you know,
His guys.
his guys who, you know, there was Antonio Langham, there was George Teague, you know,
Teague.
he
And I
just-
saw you play with George Teague, and I know he was going to be happy about
yeah,
that.
there was some dudes that was on the roster, and I'm thinking like, man, I gotta get it. So I went over there that day, man. Like it was almost like JUCO for me. I was like, man, I'm hitting everything that moved.
Mm-hmm.
Line it up, one-on-ones. I thrived in that.
Yeah.
I was like, pfft,
I'm on you.
all day.
I'm on you.
Like, is this the best y'all got? Like, wait a minute. I was over here.
That's that DB swag right there. You got to have that.
And some of the guys didn't even know. They was like, oh, that's the dude from Cali. That's that JUCO dude. They call me that Cali dude.
The Cali guy, yeah.
And I'm thinking like, bruh, I'm trying to eat. Like, you know, y'all in a nice dorm. You know, I got treated like garbage.
Yeah, sharing a locker.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Nasty. It was nasty.
people.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, man, I'm not putting my jock strap in there.
Davos.
Yeah, that's. But like I said, man, it was
Wild.
it was like layers, man, to where I got to today.
That's
and
amazing.
you know, a lot of people see first thing they say is like, "Oh, you play 8 years in the league." They have no clue of what
Get
happened
there.
or how it got.
the steps.
You know how I
Steps.
got there, and everybody just sees that instant gratification.
Right.
And you know, for the work you have to put in, not just for sports, for everything. You know, you see these guys, rappers or athletes or doctors or lawyers, they got to go through a process
Putting in work.
to get to where they're at. And you know, that's
Facts.
something these kids get so caught up in the social media. They see all the hype, but behind the scene,
Mm-hmm.
man, it's a lot of depression. You know, it's some serious stuff that goes on with trying to be the best
Yeah.
all the time, every day, going to school, punching the clock, playing against, you know, guys way bigger than me in the SEC every week. And it's
Every
like,
week.
it was a grind. But for me, it was like, man, this is what I signed up for.
Yeah.
This
So-
is what I have to do.
This is what I got to do. I said I was going to make it to the National Football League. I'm on my way. You know,
Taking those steps.
I'm a little bit closer to where I want to be. And, you know, guys like, man, you ain't going to make it to the league.
Mm.
And I always heard that, like, okay.
All right. I got something for you.
Yeah, okay.
So I got one more question and before we move on to get into your pro day. So you have a record. Is it still there
At Alabama?
at Alabama?
Man, my man Mika Fitzpatrick broke it. Like I
Oh.
think it was his junior year
Okay.
against
Okay.
Texas A&M. And
Oh,
I didn't even
okay.
I didn't see the game, but my Twitter was blowing.
Oh,
up.
everybody was
Text
letting you know.
messages like, dog. I think I went like 97
You
or
had no 98.
98.
98. I think he went like 99.
Yeah.
He was like in the back of the end zone. I'm thinking like, oh, so he hits me up. He's like, man, sorry I had to break your record. But for me, man, to even have a record at Alabama, I was like, they're made to be broken.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll take
That's
second.
dope.
You know, I'll take second to Mika Fitzpatrick.
Uh,
He's that dude.
yeah, yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
come
no. He's the
Hey.
dude. No, he's that dude.
Okay,
I'm not gonna-
thank you. Don't
I ain't
do
gonna
that.
disrespect me.
Thank you. Don't disrespect.
Who
All
was
right.
that Texas A&M quarterback throwing that pick?
I don't even know.
Do you know?
I don't know.
I should find out.
You
Be
should
like,
find-
why did you throw that, bro?
Right. Like we got
Hey
beef.
man, don't be throwing it out to the
Right.
field.
Like, that's a setup, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, so we want to jump into the career, man. So talk about draft day. So you got drafted by Philly, 10th round.
Yeah,
What was it? It was number 27.
272.
You remember that day, huh?
I would never forget it, man. And
So, and this is like you've been talking about all these obstacles. Like, you know, we did our kind of research, but that's some of the stuff we didn't even know. So
Yeah.
it's draft day. Take us through that.
sure, I'll take you to our pro day.
Oh, okay.
You know, because we had Saran Stacy, who was up for the Heisman. He was our
Mhm.
running back, got drafted, I think, in the second round by the Eagles. Kevin Turner, who got drafted by the New England Patriots. And, you know, I remember draft day, you know, for a whole 2 months, man, I just, like, shut everything down. Like, I didn't hang out with the boys. I didn't party. I worked out twice a day.
Training. Mhm.
Training by myself in the bubble. Well, we called it the barn. By myself. And everybody was like, man, where you be at? I was like, man, I was be chilling.
Right.
I'm getting ready for my pro day, but I'm good. And you know, I knew I was like, man, I gotta open some eyes because I know they're probably like, he's 5'8", 155 was my playing weight at
You just
Alabama.
added.
Yeah.
You just added it.
I did. I did. I was 145. I was 145.
You had
I
to
was
wait.
145. 145. My bad. 145. 147 on a good day. 147 on
It's
a good
funny,
day.
like some of the announcers, like I was looking at some YouTube footage, like, yeah,
They be lying.
he's like 165. I was like, where'd you get all that weight from?
It depends on what kind of shoes I was using.
There it
but-
is. If it was raining that day.
It was raining, and you know, guys were coming in, and you know, obviously Alabama, you know, it was pro day was like every scout in America. came
Everybody,
out
right?
there. And I remember stepping on the scale and Ozzie Newsome. I'm thinking like, oh, that's the wizard.
Yeah.
He played at Alabama. Like
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan. Like, man, how you doing, Ozzie? I was like kind of awestruck.
Right.
And they were like, all right, we're gonna go in the weight room. We're gonna, you know, 185, whatever it was. I was like, I'm not. Wait, I'm not. That's not my game.
That's not.
That's not me.
That's not why I
I'm
shine.
out of that one.
And he looked at me. He's like, man. He said, "You too small, bro." He said, "You're not gonna make it to the league." And in my mind, I'm thinking like, they have no idea what we're going. When we get outside,
Oh,
it's on. And you know, we went outside, and I think surrounding them. They were running like 4.6, 4.5, which is good for which is good time, for a running back and a fullback. And
It is.
Yeah.
so I come up and I'm thinking like, oh,
But
I'm about to blow this 40 out. So the first time I ran a 4.25. Yeah, that's the same reaction the NFL scouts was doing
I
too.
know they did.
They were like, "Wait a minute," and then coach, they was like, "Can you do us again? Can you do it again?"
Yeah.
And Coach Darling said, "You damn right, he can do it again," because he knew.
Oh, he already knew.
He knew. Like I was always in the barn. He had my back 100%, man.
Dope.
Through anything, man. It was like, guys were like, "Oh, he can go to Canada," and the agent that I did hire. I remember meeting with that guy. He said, "Oh, we can get him to Canada."
Yeah.
He told me right in front of that agent. He said, "Fire him right now." he said, "Fire
Shout out,
him
Coach.
right now."
Absolutely.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, I ain't even got drafted yet. I can't even fire the guy. Like, how can I fire him? But and then the second time I ran a 4.24, and my vertical. We did the vertical jump 42 inches.
Yep.
So then everybody was like,
Explosive.
all of a sudden it's like, oh, what can we get in contact with
Right.
you? Because I moved out of the dorm and everything. Like I just went in isolation, man, and just
That's what it takes sometimes.
I moved in with the volleyball players, females. Like I was just like sleeping on the couch. Moved out of my dorm. They was like, "Dude, where you be at?" I was like, "Man, I'm just chilling with these my homegirls. We good." Like dudes were like, "Hey, man, can we come over there?" Nah, bro, y'all not finna ruin my homegirls like that.
Come in there.
Y'all not gonna ruin my homegirls like
Foxes
that.
in the hen house.
Yeah, nah, dog. I'm solid over here, man. We eat no macaroni and cheese out the box, man. So we good. And just the draft day came, and I went to Geneva, Alabama, with Saran Stacy,
Okay.
and we had they had the big party and everything. I'm thinking like, okay, he got drafted. It's exciting. I go back week, day number 2, nothing cracking. Day number 3. I'm like, man, I'm about to go shoot some hoop. So, Robert Ory, Latrell Sprewell, those guys were all, they were at Alabama too. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna go in there and hoop with these guys. And then Hollywood Robinson, I remember
Wow.
he came, James Robinson.
Mhm.
He came in. Actually, James, he stays out here now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Hollywood stays out here. You should get him on. He's a good guy. And he's like, man, I heard you just got drafted. And I'm thinking like, well, how you know? Right. Yeah, I was like, man, y'all tripping. Don't play with me like that. So I went back to my dorm room and I was, apartment. I was sitting there just chilling, just watching the draft. I was like pissed, bro. I was like watching all these dudes go by, get drafted. Like, I know I'm better than these guys. And then the phone rings.
Well, yeah. Plus, Pootie Tay got
Puppy Tutors.
You don't call
He
that
said
man
Pootie
Pootie
Tay.
Tang.
must be that red juice in that cup over there.
Pootie Tay.
Them crushed grapes is
Crushed and fermented, baby.
And the phone rings and it's like, hey, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. We'd like to draft you. And I'm thinking like, y'all got the wrong number. I hung up the phone.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like, and I'm looking at the ticker and I see my name go by on the ticker, like McMillian Eagles, and the phone rings immediately again. I was like, oh, I had a bad connection. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. It's like, hey, we want to draft you to Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm thinking like the Eagles, like, wow. Back then I was like, Reggie White, Randall Cunningham, Clyde Simmons, Jerome Brown,
Y'all had
Dirty Waters. We had some dudes, and man, and like I said, it just leads into that story. I said, man, I just grabbed all my stuff once it was over. I was like, man, I'm gonna make this team. And that's when the riots was broke out in California, and and Big Doggy Reggie White, he's like, hey man, he said maybe I should go down there and and talk to the people. You think it's a good idea? I'm thinking like, man, they don't care about you, bro. I was like, no, dog, that's not a good idea,
and you
man.
country too, trying to go out there and talk to the folks.
I was like, bro, that's not a good idea, man. Brothers is looting, guys is getting shot,
92.
guys getting killed.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I'm looking at this on TV, and I'm like, man, my hood is like burning
Just
down.
burning down. Again.
I'm thinking like, man, my brothers, my mom, everybody was like right in the mix. And I'm thinking like, man, I gotta make this team. I got to get my people. I got to do whatever I got to do to get myself out of that situation.
Right.
And man, it's just, being drafted by the Eagles, man, was a blessing. Like I said, man, just in Philly, just general. I think it just kind of fit me too. Just a city, just hardcore, hard-nosed, scrappy. They don't give a crap.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a good game, great game. If you have a bad game, don't go on the radio.
They're going to let you know.
Don't go on the radio. Don't go down South Street. Don't go out in public because they will let you, like, you freaking suck. And I was like, man, these fans are like, and dudes told me, it's like, bro, once you start playing a little bit, don't listen to the radio. Say, because quick as you, the best thing in Philly, the next day you can be doo-doo.
Yeah.
And, you know, I learned the hard way. I was
Yeah.
like, man, I'm going to listen to the radio. I'm feeling myself. I had a nice little special team game. Then the next game I think we were playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, and I was playing special teams. I was special teams player of the week, three in a row. And I think a guy named was Brian Thompson. I think it was Benny Thompson or Brian Thompson.
Okay.
From the Chiefs. He was like the outside sticking the gunner.
Gunner. Okay.
And I was like, oh. He was like, oh, you that new dude. You that new dude, huh? I was like, yeah. Man, he tore me up.
Wow.
He's
got some
Bloody,
hands on
bust
you?
Hands? Bruh, it was like Mike Tyson beat me up. I was bleeding. I was like, he had me up under the bench. Like, he tore me up. I was like, he was like, welcome to the league, young rookie. I was like, yeah.
like that.
I was like, I need to work on some stuff. And I turned on the radio. There's like, who's that 29? That guy sucked. He was all up under the Gatorade, up under the bench. And we had on our white jerseys. So you know that red Gatorade stuck out.
Everything was on there.
Oh, there was
every grass mark.
But that I got baptized, man. And like I said, I never wanted that feeling again. I was like, damn, this dude is good.
Yeah.
But he was like a Pro Bowl special teams guy too.
Mm-hmm.
So he was. I was just feeling myself. He's like, you ain't arrived yet.
Sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
Man, so I want to get into the craft, man, because in your time, you're one of the best man-to-man corners in the league. So just break down the technique. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about just the technique. Like, I'm a DB, so like,
There we go.
I love this the technique, and then obviously you were undersized, so your technique had to be there. Not that you're just fast, but you had to have great technique. So just talk about your man-to-man defense and your technique.
That was one of the things like I said, I from junior college, I was like, man, I just got to work on my technique. I got to be technically sound.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know my size was going to put me at a disadvantage to guys that was taller or maybe stronger. So if my technique is fast and crisp, I always tell guys that I coach, I say technique's going to win.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time.
Like, you can have dudes to be fast. These receivers are fast. But if you're technically sound, you're going to be in the area, in the vicinity to make the play. Now, it's going to be up to you to make that play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I just man-to-man, man, I thrived on it. I think they even put that on my football cards. It's like thrived in man-to-man.
Man-to-man.
And it was like,
Hands down.
I'm talking backpedaling. Somebody's running a 15-yard curl. You backpedal the whole route.
On him.
yeah.
Just
and
backpedal, not opening up nothing.
I was so comfortable in my technique.
Yeah.
And that's something I teach these guys I coach now.
Yeah.
I say, you see it now, it's like guys are holding PIs.
Scared.
Yeah, it's like there's no technique now. Guys
Yeah.
are just turning and running. Guys are shuffling. Like, what happened to backpedaling? Like, it
Where the
still
backpedal
works.
at?
Like,
Yeah.
it still
Where your
works.
backpedal?
They break right out of it, boy.
They start running. What is this?
And that's a lack of confidence.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me your college coach did not teach you how to backpedal.
That's
So all of a sudden you get in the game and you just forget all about the damn technique and wonder why you're getting beat. And I'm like, bro, just use your technique.
Right.
It works.
You're right.
It worked for me. Why wouldn't it work for you?
Correct.
It worked for Eric Allen. It worked, Darryl Green was another guy that really didn't have good technique
Okay.
because he was just so fast.
He's a fast. He's a
But
burner.
for me, I was like, man, if I'm going to go against, Jerry Rice or Michael Irvin,
yeah.
every week I got to go against these
Yeah.
guys. And I'm like, okay, I know Mike is going to be physical.
He's gonna push.
He's going to push off. So I got
A lot.
And they had, Alvin Harper was on the other side. I played
Yep.
against him in Tennessee. Alvin was like 6'5",
Yep.
and he high jump, I think, like 7 feet. Like, he was a high jumper. Like,
Yeah.
he jumping
There
out the
we go.
freaking building.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I was like, man, my technique just have to be technically sound
Spot
every
on.
week, man. I was like, when one-on-one came during practice, I was always trying to be first up.
Okay.
Like, I wanted to work on everything, press,
Mhm.
off, bail. So when that time came in the game, I was just so comfortable.
Yeah.
It
And
was
when I
second
showed
nature
guys
for you, huh?
the video, and the guy, I even showed Marlon Humphrey. I think I tweeted out maybe a month ago. He was like, "Man, that's impressive. You stayed in your backpedal that long."
I'm telling you, I saw that video. I said he just backpedaled this man's whole comeback. Did not open up, just backpedaled. That's like, man, that's impressive.
And that's what used to frustrate a lot of receivers.
Yeah.
And I always tell guys, as long as you stay in your backpedal, receivers hate that
Yeah.
because they're trying to get you to open up. They're trying to get you to turn your
Yeah.
body whichever way.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're confident in your technique and stay in your backpedal, and that's what guys, when I had to play, it's like, man, are you pressing this week?
Yeah.
No, I ain't got to press you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, why are you always playing off technique? Because I can get to my point
Quicker.
quicker than you can in my
Mhm.
back pedal.
Yep.
Now, if I press, you're definitely not going to run by me. But then I'm playing into your hands because you're going to try to body.
Yeah.
So I had to try to mix it up. But like I said, man, I love to backpedal. Like it was like riding a bike for me. It was like I knew in the game, guys, like my man Sharp from Green Bay, Sterling Sharp.
Yeah,
he's always like in the game. And Shannon, Sterling, he talked mad drunk. Oh my
well, his
God.
brother making a living running his mouth.
Making a living. Talked mad drunk, and he was like, you ain't gonna press me? Get up here in the game. He's like, get up and press me. I was like, why?
Right. I don't need to.
It's like, I'm not gonna let you just manhandle me and just throw me like a
dude,
rag
too.
doll.
Yeah.
And, just like I said, I made a living of just playing off coverage, man, and
man,
I loved it.
It was impressive. Now, on the flip side, so let me go to the first time I saw you play. I didn't watch cartoons as a kid. Did not. I grew up on Michael Jordan 1989 basketball tapes and the Dallas Cowboys. My parents are from
come
Texas.
on, man. You see the mask?
I do see it.
Eagles, baby.
I saw it. But you played the Cowboys in a time now.
Yeah.
Where they the real deal. So my first game seeing you, 1995, divisional round playoffs. I think you had Kevin Williams most of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I didn't have a good game.
And I was about to get to that.
Yeah, I didn't have a good game.
I had to get to it. I told EJ I had to talk about it because this is the game I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started off hot. A lot of people really don't know, and probably still don't. The only people probably really know about this is my family.
Okay.
Like, we played against the Detroit Lions that week before that in the playoffs.
Okay.
And my sister, they lived in Dallas, so they used to always come to the games in Cowboy Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to fly them out to Philadelphia to the game, playing against the Detroit Lions. They were hot. They had Moore.
Yep.
Yeah, they were
Perriman.
I think both of them had like over 1,500.
Yeah, they were legit.
And I was like, okay, we about to bring it to these dudes. So I was sending a plane ticket to my sister for them to fly down.
Okay.
And like Tuesday comes, I'm like, you guys get the ticket? She's like, no. I was like, okay. Wednesday comes, you guys get the ticket? She was like, no, we still haven't got it. So I'm calling FedEx. I was like, man, what's wrong with you? You didn't get the ticket?
Right.
So Thursday rolls around, no ticket. Friday rolls around. I was like, damn, what is going on with the tickets? Because they're supposed to be in town. So my brother-in-law, he goes and the tickets are there. So he picks them up at the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, my two nephews was there. He got into a fight with his brother. And his brother stabbed him and killed him.
Oh.
That day. So I'm like, I called my sister and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, what's going on? She's like,
Now you can't.
she's like, he's in the hospital, at the airlift him. And I'm thinking like, man, I'm getting ready to play like probably in one of the biggest games, against one of the most powerful offenses. Cowboys are real powerful, but that year, Detroit, they were throwing up some numbers.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in my apartment and I'm thinking, I'm like crying, I'm bawling. I was like, there's no way. And I still carry that weight today. And I tell my sister, I was like, man, what if I wouldn't have sent those tickets and he wouldn't have been going back home every day, to get those tickets.
Tickets, right. Like kept checking on them. And
so I called my coach. I called Ray Rhodes. I went to the hotel that Saturday and I told him, I was like, coach, I don't think I can do it. I was like, I don't think I can play. And he was like, just go back to the crib. If you come to the game, good. If not, we'll just start the next man up. So I called my sister that night. I was like, Bev, I don't think I can play.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister, she's like, no, you have to play. She's like, because he will want you to play. Yeah. And that whole game, man, I think I cried the whole game. And we started off like hot against the Lions. I had like pass breakups. I had interception. And then, that week going up to playing the Cowboys that next week, that Saturday morning was a funeral. So I flew to California, did the service, and they flew me back. And I got to Dallas like Sunday morning, probably like 8 in the morning.
Wow.
And it was like snowing and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was mentally, I wasn't even there.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I'm going to go out here. Then the game starts. And I think Troy throws a deep ball. Bobby Taylor tips it. I intercept it. I'm like, okay, maybe this is okay.
Right.
And I look up in the stands, and I always knew where they sit because I got them the same ticket. And those 4 seats were empty.
Oh.
And I was like, man. And that whole game was like a blur. And, Kevin, he tore me up. He did what he had to do.
He did.
And he went
tore you.
he went at me. And I was like, there's nothing I can do mentally. I was like, man, there's nothing
And that's a big part of the game, man.
Yeah,
the mental.
That is the part.
That's
Halftime, I was like, I went in there, balled in halftime, and they were like, man, you just fight through it, dog. And I was like, man, I just got to fight through it. But nobody, and everybody's like, man, you had a bad game. Nobody knew that. So
Nah,
you
I
guys got
didn't.
some. You guys got some heat right here.
That's exclusive. I can't
That's-
watch the game no more. The same.
Right. Right.
Dang, that's
You
crazy.
can't get the same joy out of that
Yeah.
no more.
And my, like I said, to my sister, man, and it's a picture that they always show or tweet out with me holding the ball. I think I like holding up number 1, but at that moment when they froze it, I was actually pointing to the sky. That was the Dallas Cowboy game in the playoffs,
Okay.
and I was like, that whole game was just like a blur. And then I knew I wasn't going to sign back with the Eagles. I knew I wasn't coming back. I knew they were going to sign me back or go back, pack all my stuff, and it was just like a snowball effect. But Kevin didn't care, and he shouldn't have.
Nah.
He was like, "Oh, we about to put him in the slot. We're going to move him around." They were just like moving me all over the place.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Man, I cannot stop this dude." And he was tearing me up.
Yeah, that's his best game of his career.
Yeah, it probably was his best game. And after that, I was like, okay,
Right.
if I ever see him again, it's gonna be a long day,
right.
bro.
Seriously.
But he did what he had to do. They won the game. But like still to this day, man, I always tell my sister, I was like, wow. And they got footage of that. Like it was like a whole story. Like the camera crew followed me all the way from Philly
To the funeral.
did the funeral, followed me through the airport, was on the airplane, followed me through, to the hotel, followed me to the stadium. Like it was like a whole
Wow.
But nobody never knew that. And
Right.
they still haven't even put that footage out. And they always say, hey, you want me to, we can put that footage out. I was like,
Wow.
I don't know. But, eventually, when the book comes out or the movie or whatever comes out, I'll be able to share that. But, man, and that's a picture right there.
Yeah.
That's like, that's
movie.
like, it's a great picture, but people are like, man, that's a great picture. But, like, I was pointing to him like, dude, I got one for you.
That's amazing, man.
And it was just so real, man. In the game, the gloves that I actually played against the Lions. I actually put them. I gave it to him. So they're still in the ground with my guy. And he was a great dude, man. Chris, great dude to my great father, great Christian man. Was a pastor, and it was just crazy. And I even went to the trial, bro. Like to see his brother walk in there and with a smile on his face, and then walk out a free man.
Oh, what?
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's heavy, man.
I was like, I told my sister, she's like, don't do it. Cause I was like year 5 and I was still like she's like, you got way too much to lose. She's like, God's going to handle that.
Yeah.
But I was like, like that was grimy, bro. You going to
No,
kill your
that's
old
the
bro.
old
It was
brother.
over a couple of dollars.
Wow.
So it was like, you take my man's life for a couple of dollars. And it's crazy, man. I lost a lot of people, but not like that. Like,
that's hard.
Like, and I always tell my sister, I was like, man, if I wouldn't have sent those tickets, or if he wouldn't have went to the house that day,
You
like out
can't
of all
do
the
that to
days,
yourself, though.
all
You
those
can't.
days,
But I
like,
know that's what you were doing.
yeah. But like I said, it's
Wow.
it's in God's hands. He's in a better place. I end up having a really good, successful career. I always made sure I honored him in everything I did because,
Right.
like I said, he was a good dude, man, a really good dude.
That's crazy. Man, so whew.
I didn't mean to throw a damper on your Kevin Williams story, though.
Yeah,
Right,
man.
he was
I can't
excited about that.
Yeah, I
you
know
just
you
shut
know
that
you
off.
I gotta control alt delete that whole game.
That whole game, that whole story.
But
You gotta get a new film on that one.
People didn't know, but it's just
Yeah.
something that
Wow.
I've never was in the position, and like I said, this is like the open table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel comfortable to open up and be me.
Yeah, there it is, man. And that's a part of it, man.
And it's therapy for me because I never told this on anybody's show.
And holding that in, man.
Yeah.
And so it's two parts, right? One, holding that in and not be able to not have really talked about it outside of your family.
Mhm.
And then two, the guilt. So, man, I know it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But you can't beat yourself up on that
Yeah.
stuff, right?
But I did beat up every
I-
receiver after that. I was like, I was on
Somebody
a
got
freaking
beat up.
mission,
Yeah, someone
bro.
took it out.
Yeah, I was like, and after that, then guys, every time we played against guys, I was known as a dirty guy. And I obviously playing with Andre Waters, that whole defense we played, played with in Philly. It was like, in order to get an advantage, you have to do something to intimidate the guy to not want to come across the middle, whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Romanowski on the team.
Yeah, we did that, Roman. We did that, Romo, and he used to get kicked out of practice all the time.
Ray Rose is the coach. I
Yeah.
never saw him smile.
He's never happy, man. He like wake up mad.
Dude, that was one of the coolest brothers to ever play for.
Golly.
I would just say coach because he was
Uh-huh.
he gave me the Deion Sanders treatment. He said, as long as you do what you have to do, you don't have to show up to the hotel on Saturday mornings. He said, you can stay at the crib.
Okay.
So they gave me the tapes, you know,
The cuts, everything.
all the
that you
cuts.
need.
Say,
Yep.
okay, you do what you got to do, and we're going to treat you right. I was like, damn. I was like, yeah, he's it's prime time. But I'm like, I ain't Dion, but
Hey, you something. You can
But-
backpedal a 18-yard curl. You something.
All right, hey, I'm gonna have to jump into this, man, just to keep us rolling, man. So, all right, we want to jump into the quick hits. Quick hits is sponsored by Thick Fit. When it comes to your health, it starts in the kitchen. Thick Fit Meal Prep is here to help you along that journey. They provide healthy, delicious meals that are easy on the go, fitting any and everyone's lifestyle. Call them at 702-850-3388 or Instagram at Thick Fit Meal Prep. You use the hashtag Black and get a free additional meal on us. All right, Miles, what you got?
2 quick questions. Who was your favorite teammate?
man, that's tough. I would say Byron Evans. He was our middle linebacker in Philadelphia.
Okay.
He's that guy, and he always looked out for me, and I would kind of contribute a lot of me getting on the field to him. And you know, we're playing against the 49ers. Jerry Rice had one more touchdown to catch of the many records that he holds. And I'm thinking like, okay, I'm going back to Cali. Family's going to be there. I knew it was my family because they stole the beach towels from the hotel, and they sitting there. I'm like, everybody's like, that must be your family. I'm like,
Who mama is that? Your
I was
mama?
like, man, they ain't finna pay for no towels, bro. We got to do what we got to do. I'm a rookie. I ain't making no loot. So Jerry's like eating our guy up, and my man Byron, he's calling timeout. Like, we're going head to head. You know, Jerry's going off. John Taylor's going off. Randall's going off. Like, it was back and forth. And at halftime, they was like, man, I ain't going to say my man's name, but they was like, dude, you got to step up. And I was next in line because I was number 5 on the depth chart going in to the season. And by the third quarter, we grinded. And the dude he was not playing. He was like scared. So my man B&E, we call him B&E. He was like, put the rookie in. He's like, timeout. And my man, the defensive coordinator, Bud Carson, God rest his soul, he was like, he looked at me, and I was 29. He didn't call me Mark. I was 29. He looked at me. He's like, 29.
You ready?
You ready? And I was like, yeah, I'm ready. He's like, you ain't ready yet. I'm like, why'd you ask me if I was ready then? If you gonna say me I ain't ready yet? I was like, bro, it's like week 8. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Like, I didn't beat out like 4 dudes. You gonna tell me I ain't ready?
Wow.
And you know, it got grimy again. And my man, we had like 2 more timeouts left in a crucial game.
Okay.
Steve Young, he's going off. And they were, because Eric Allen was just shutting his side down. It was like,
Yeah, that's
we ain't going over there. Like,
That's a real deal.
2 months got it locked. I was like, ooh, he over there getting it in.
Get it going on.
And the second time out, he looked at me. He's like, "You ready?" I was like, "Let's get it." And I'm walking on the field, and Jerry Rice walks by me, and he's like, "Oh, you the rookie everybody's been talking about." He's like, "This is fresh meat."
Oh,
And
boy.
I'm thinking like, I ain't gonna drop that word, but I was like, "Yeah, come on, dog. You put your pants on just like I put my pants on."
Right.
And the first time he got a pass, he went for like 15. I was like, "Oh." And then he caught like a little hitch, and I grabbed him by the leg, pulled him. His shoe came off, and I threw his shoe on the ground. Then I got a 15-yard penalty, so I gave up like 30 yards in 3 plays. And on that play, I walk in the huddle, and I'm looking at Reggie White and all those guys, and they were like, and they're patting me on the head, and I'm thinking like, well, they're like, that's what we're looking for.
A dog.
We're looking for somebody that's gonna compete. Somebody that ain't scared. And I was thinking like, man, of course, Jerry, I'm thinking like, it is Jerry. But he did catch that touchdown before I got in. And I was like, after he caught that touchdown, I was like, okay, if I get in, he ain't breaking no records on me. I ain't gonna be on his ESPN highlights.
I ain't gonna be his highlight.
All right. And then receivers today. Okay. Start one, cut one, and bench one. I'm talking about the receivers. You got DK Metcalf.
Ooh, man, chow.
You got Odell Beckham.
Hands.
You got Julio Jones.
Ooh.
Start one of them, bench one of them, cut one.
Man, I don't want to say Julio. People are like, because he went to Alabama. Because Julio's hurt a lot.
Yeah, he is.
And if I'm going to play a guy, I want a guy that's going to be there. I got to go with Metcalf.
That's a beast, man.
I got to go with Metcalf. And it's like, and I think to myself, like watching these guys, and I was like, how would I have fared against guys like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, we didn't really have guys that was fast like that.
Man, Bump Fast, he's different.
Yeah, he's
different.
and even like, Calvin Johnson, like Megatron. Like back then it was like we didn't have guys like that. Guys were I would say they were physical, but they wasn't running like 4.3s at 220 with 8 packs.
With 8 packs. All right. Well, hey, we got to jump into the winner's circle, man, because time is flying on us, man. So the winner's circle's sponsored by Nevada Grow. Winner's Circle, Nevada Grow, providing the right data, providing the right decisions, facilitating the right connections. Nevada Grow, here to help small businesses in Nevada. So you want to talk about Camp 29. So tell us about that. I see you rocking the shirt.
I always got to rock the shirt. So I appreciate you guys coming out the other day.
Absolutely.
And giving me that platform.
Absolutely.
Obviously, man, it's been something in the making for a long time. I've never really, I've been working with other companies for a long time and doing camps and combines for other guys. And my mom always said, why do you always want to work for somebody else when you have a platform that people gravitate to and you can do it yourself? And I was like, well, it takes a little money and it takes people that, really believe in you. And, there's a lot of guys I know would step up and help and have my back. I just never really because every time we do the combine, the same guys that do the combines are the same guys that's going to be working with me.
Got you.
So now there's and they always said like, dude, you've been running this brand for the last 8 years. Why are you working for somebody else and you can do it for yourself? And I was like, well, so I just took a leap of faith, man, and prayed on it. Talked to my pastor, Randall Cunningham, about it.
Yeah,
and
shout out to Pastor.
And even he said, he was like, bro, why are you working for somebody else? He's like, you got it. And, you've seen this facility.
Right.
He's got everything over there. So, I have an opportunity to train kids over there, 3 times a week.
It's awesome.
And it's been growing, but I never really launched and say, hey, this is going to be, I don't want to be like a camp or a combine where it's like 150 and 200 kids. I'm not looking to just fatten my pockets off of that. Obviously, we got to pay for our travel and our merchandise to fit the kids out. But I want to be able to have a camp where I can have maybe 30 to 40 tops, because I want to be able to reach 30 to 40
and actually give them that individual that touch time.
Yeah, I don't want to be like the mega church. You like, man, pastor was good. Like, you ever met him? Nope.
Right.
Like, man, he got a big mega church. He got 5,000 people in the church. Have you ever met him?
Right.
No. So by the time we see him, he rolling out in the Bentley. Like, no, I want to be the guy that each kid gets an opportunity to feel me and be able to be like, man, that dude is genuine.
That's awesome.
Because if you got so many kids, you're only going to highlight the kids that's making your subscription go up.
Yeah.
Right.
Or making your sales or making your whatever go up. Like, I've already been there. Like, it's not about having all the kids like, oh my gosh, I have so many kids. Like, okay, well, what about this kid? And you'd be like, oh, I don't know about that kid.
I don't even know. But he's come to your camp like 5 times.
He's come to your camp about 5 times. It's like, give me that 0 star.
Got you.
Give me that 1 star.
And build them up.
Because obviously kids that don't know my story, when their parents come out, parents remember. They're like, man, I remember when you played, like, you was a small guy. You went through the ranks. You worked hard at it.
Right.
Like, you wasn't physically gifted enough to be. You shouldn't have never made it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's kids out there that's physically gifted, and they like, okay, I made it.
So with that,
what did you make?
Yeah. So with that, you definitely need partnerships, and I know you have a new partner that you're working with. Tell us about was it Ready Nutrition, right?
Ready Nutrition. They're going to be my sponsor drink, so I'm excited about that, man.
Okay.
And just kind of surrounding myself with good people, man, that believes in my product and believe in what I have going on. And
so where did Ready come from? Like,
just came out of social media.
Okay, nice.
And I'm thinking like, okay, let me look for a drink that's good for the kids, that's going to help. That's all about the kids. That's good about when I do an event, they want to be able to be a part of that and give back portions of what we make to those communities, because there's a lot of kids that come to these camps and they're hungry.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, if I can give a kid a snack and a drink,
that's healthy too. That's not junk food.
That's good for his body, good for his soul. All of a sudden, this kid goes in and he's looking Costco's or whatever. He's like, man, that's that drink we had at the camp.
And I mean, like you said, the company really wants to lend in. Like, they have a goal of helping like 1 million kids by 2025 or something like that.
Yeah, and like I said, they have a good vision. And Giannis, I can't say his last name.
The Greek Freak.
The Greek Freak. It's him and Aaron Donald. That's the ones that kind of started it. And
wow.
they're the big investors out in front of this thing, and I was like, okay, well, shoot, they're both MVPs.
Yeah.
They both look good, so it must be good,
Right.
You know. So I was like, so I'm all on board.
So, really quick, man, we got to talk about Grilla McMillian, man. That's a part of you, man. And we wrapping up on time, but just tell us a little bit about Grilla McMillian, what you got going on with that.
Man, I had a great conversation with my guys, Scott in Chicago. It's called Meet Up.
Okay.
Meetup.com, baby. I'm telling you, baby. They sent me like a couple of $100 worth of steaks and ribs and chicken.
Okay.
And I've been grilling all day. So
All
if you,
day.
if you follow me on the ground, baby, it's gonna be.
Yeah, I got hungry looking at it.
It's
right.
fire,
I'm
man.
hungry right now. You talking about grilling all day, doesn't bring no to-go plate or nothing.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Well,
A nice size piece. A nice size plate.
Anytime,
Right.
next time I'm on, man, I'm gonna bring y'all some. I'm gonna bring
Right
y'all some
on.
to-go plates.
There it is.
I'll bring
There
y'all
it
some
is.
to-go plates. But like I said, it's a blessing, man. I'm in a great position, man. Like I said, I'm truly blessed. Like I said, I appreciate you guys
Absolutely.
having me on this platform. And now you talking about you start talking about meat. Now you got me. I'm over here salivating. I'm thinking like, what can I throw out real quick that I can throw on my grill
Hey,
tonight?
well, listen, check this out, man. Well, we do have the locker room, man, so we'll bring you back on a little short format, man. We
do
can talk
that.
about that because there's so much, man. You've been amazing, man. We didn't even get to talk about the Emmy, you know.
Oh, the Emmy, baby.
Yeah,
Come
you know.
on, man. Little Big Man show. You
Little
can
Big
Google
Man.
that too. You can
That's
Google
dope.
that.
Absolutely. So a lot of great stuff, man. So how we like to end the show, and this is we got to hit this really quick. The assist. This will be your coaching philosophy, how you like, what you live by, or just a quote you live by. So give us some for the people.
You looking back like that? I'm man from LA. When you look back like that means somebody come from the back.
I heard so.
Okay. I didn't forget all my Cali senses now.
Yeah, you almost hit that 4-2.
He almost bounced. Hey,
you know what I'm
all of
saying?
this was gonna shut down. All of this was over.
Hey,
All
man.
right, come on.
I always tell my son to don't stand behind me, dog. He's like, Dad, you're not in the hood no more. I'm like, bro, that's
Hey, the hood never. Hey, the hood never leaves you. The hood never leaves you. It's a part of you.
Yeah.
You don't lose those defense mechanisms. But yeah, really quick, man. Give us that. That's probably one of those philosophies, right?
Facts.
Facts. But yeah, just give us a quote or something. Words you live by.
man, perseverance. Obviously, you got to keep God first, man. And obviously, playing the game, sometimes we do take it for granted. We go out there, we pray before the game, and then we party after the game. Like, thank you, Lord. And I'm like, oh, I ain't gonna never do that again, Jesus. Please, if you just let me get through this night, I ain't gonna never do that again. But you know what I'm saying? God has a great way of humbling us.
Oh,
and,
boy.
Sitting us down. And what I tell these kids, man, is never get too high and never get too low.
Love it.
When you have all these offers, don't just sit on this opportunity. Turn your boys on to it. If you know one of your guys probably not financially able to go to all these camps or combines, and he's just as good as you, why not tell your coach, like, hey, man, why don't you recruit my boy?
Yep.
Put my guy on. So, just stay humble. Man, don't smoke, because that marijuana is like tearing these dudes up, man. That marijuana, I know it's legal in a lot of states, but as an athlete, when these young boys, man, I know so many kids that's lost scholarships just off of marijuana. And I don't understand why it's so cool to give away, $250. If somebody gonna give you $250,000 worth of scholarship free money, and you're gonna blow it because your boys over here want to get faded.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
And that was one that we didn't get to, because like you came up in the DARE era, right? Like,
Yeah.
you were losing people to drugs and violence and stuff like that. And now like drugs has really become like it's a part of it. Like
you
it's
can ride down the
accepted.
highway. You like, look, I got my mask on and I'm about to get high. Like it's crazy, man. But I know, some people just like to smoke and get high, and if that's their thing, that's their thing. But for
Moderation, please.
if
Something,
you
right?
got some aches and pains or whatever, for medical reasons, I can
Right.
understand that. But just to be like, want to just to do it, like I just want to just kick. Why do you want to smell like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dog. This just, but like I said, man, I got a great platform, and I'm honored and humbled and blessed, man. I can't complain about anything, man. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning,
Ooh.
ready to rock and roll,
I love it.
making calls, and I'm in the bed at 10. So let's see, it's 8:30 right now.
Well, hey, man, we really want to thank you, man. It's been amazing. We definitely going to have you back on or in the
Sure.
locker room in some form or fashion, man. We want to thank all of our sponsors, and we want to thank you, the people, for listening, man. I hope you enjoyed today's show, man. Please hit that like button or leave a comment. Tell us what you think. Subscribe on YouTube. And then for additional content, check out The Locker Room. We drop those every Tuesday on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google, or wherever you listen to this podcast. Stay safe, practice gratitude, and know we're rooting for you.
Screaming, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even.
Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yo. Look. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap.